What's going on, traders? Hope everybody had a good day today. It is Wednesday, May 28th, FOMC day. So a lot of chop in the markets. FOMC minutes really didn't do much as far as the volatility was concerned. Markets were down on the day 0.72%. Final print was 411.09. But NVIDIA did report earnings after the bell, and that actually ripped the markets up in after hours. NVIDIA made a huge move up about 20%. AMD's up about 7% or so. And the SPY right now is actually currently trading around 413. So big moves there in the market with NVIDIA. But before we go into any more in depth, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying the content that we are providing. Hit that like button. Love to see the comments below. And don't forget to hit that notification bell as well, so that way you're updated when we post new content. And this video is for entertainment and educational purposes only. So with that being said, here we go. All right, so we opened on a gap down today, as you can see here on the daily chart. And we'll look at a different time frame in a second to see the move that actually transpired with NVIDIA earnings. But we opened on a gap down here, and we were talking about that potentiality, right? If we had broken the 20-day, we'd be looking for this this daily POC, and we did in fact come into that today. Markets were also slightly supported here by this trend, and we'll get into this here in a second, a little bit closer. But very interesting moves today, just in the fact that we were just basing for a while, a lot of traps, and then towards the end of the day we finally saw the retracement. Even before NVIDIA earnings, we got a move up at the end of the day, and we'll go into today's price action in a moment. But it was very difficult to trade, easy to get chopped up if you're just chasing price up and down. Did close out the majority of the swing puts that I took, Thursday, that I've been talking about for a while. I think I started talking about them on last Wednesday or so, or maybe it was Thursday. But yeah, so closed pretty much everything out of that for about 80%. I will take it. Just have one runner left, so that was a great trade. And where did they go? Let's see. They went, it was in the 230s for my entry, and they went up to, the high was 453, I guess. So it's a nice one. But either way, now we move on. I just have one left, so I'll probably close it out tomorrow, but we'll have to see what happens. So yeah, nice moves there towards the end of the day. Let's take a look. And again, the move in after hours, which really has changed the market structure, is not going to be showing here on the daily. So let me pull it up on this chart, and we'll be able to see it. Okay, here we go. So we can see it clear here, this move. Now, I was hoping for this type of move overnight, but really with FOMC minutes, they just couldn't do it. And there's still obviously a lot of looming worry as far as the debt ceiling is concerned. The market's very jumpy with anything that McCarthy says, or anyone from the Fed or from Congress. So we're gonna have to see how that plays itself out as well. But nice retracement here in the after, as you can see right off the POC. Boom, now we're starting to retrace. And we often talk about, now if this was one candle, this is probably about a 32% retracement. But the 50% would probably be back up here in this area around that 415 zone. So gonna see if there's any continuation. There is a potential that we just end up coming down and forming a bear flag and then breaking down again and retesting. This we didn't quite get there. It was pretty close, but this is done on the daily. I'll show you my other chart here that we were looking at on the fibs here in a second. So let's go though really quickly into this one. Okay, and we are still now back into this range that we've been in, right? So we could see here, and it could be an interesting setup. We start to come into that 415 area, potential short idea, right? We have a nice confluence with the 9 and the 20 here, and we'd come up hitting also value area high, and we might get, you know, somewhat of a retracement back down. I don't know how far, but maybe from here you might get back and retest this base here right around 413 and then make a move back up. But that's an idea. I mean, it's a $2 or $3 move, so I don't know, you know, if it's worth the time, but it's certainly an idea intraday that could be a better potential, not, you know, for a day trade, not so much for a swing. But we'll see as that develops. But back into the range here, and you know, we'll be watching, you know, how this plays itself out. So let's go into the other fib chart that we were looking at. Here we go. Okay. Right, so in the morning we were hanging out right here, okay, right around the, oh no, the 52 is where we opened. And actually, let me come down to something like this, right? Okay. So here is where I posted about this in the morning, that we were hanging out right at the 50% retracement, and we did in fact just break right through. You can still see the overall trend, right? Higher low, higher low, higher low. Okay, and this has just been downtrending basically since Friday. And, you know, we got in a short up here, but you can see the shift in the market structure as far as this being the high. Now we've got a lower high, right? So you can see that shift in the structure, but you know, now we've got, you can go from here, right? Lower high, lower high, lower high, and potentially a lower high. We'll have to see. Could be some more retracement here. You know, today, for me, I was really looking for that move to the upside, because we were talking about, where did I also say here? Let's go back. Right, I did try out a long here in the morning at the 50. Of course, it didn't work, and I got stopped out. But you know, that was another trade idea that I was talking about possibly taking, and I did try it, but obviously it didn't work. But you know, that's, you just plan your trades and manage your risk, and that's all you can do. But if you recall in yesterday's video, I even made a note, right, to extend this trend line. And I said, oh, well, let's see if we get into it. If we get into it, it could offer us a nice buying opportunity, right? So luckily I did extend it. It was there. I was watching it. We were right at the 61.8, and they just could not break lower than this. And you know, and an intraday price action, you know, kind of like almost an inverted head and shoulders, kind of a rounded bottom type of island bottom type of situation here. So look, you can see it did break just barely here, but a fake break. Then we kept coming in, boom, boom, boom. Sellers were getting absorbed all in this area, and then finally we saw the push up. And this was before NVDA. We came up, and then we did see a sell reaction, and then NVIDIA came out and then rallied us up higher. So we'll see. You know, now we are above this 412.30, and for me that is a positive sign here, emerging in the structure for the market. Yes, we can still just make technically another higher low, but now we're almost at the opposite of what we were earlier, in the fact that now we're extended to value to the, you know, we're extended at a value to the downside, where before we were extended to a value to the upside. So we'll have to see. For me now, as long as this 50%, this 412 area, 412.30, I believe that's 41.35 or so on the futures markets. 41.35, and I'm also really paying attention to 41.25, and lastly 41.20. But the main thing that we're going to need bulls to hold is going to be the 41.35 for the most confirmation for the long. But I will watch 25 for sure. And that's just basically here on that 412 area on the S&P. So, and then, I'll be watching, when I said a little bit lower, like 41.25, I'll be watching this shift in the market structure right here, right? Because this was where we couldn't break out over before, right? All day, we kept coming into this area, couldn't break over, couldn't break over, couldn't break over. And now if we come back and retest, so that it's the same situation for futures, but I know a lot of you guys trade SPY, so but the levels are all, you could trade ES off SPY or any of that stuff. So yeah, if we come back and retest here any of the structure, hopefully just the top of it, I really wouldn't want to come too much down lower, but you can see nice confluence. This probably will shift a bit overnight, but if we did come back into that 412 area here, it could be a good pickup. And then we're looking, probably first target would be around this 413 right value area low here, and the 38.2 extension. And then if we can get over that, okay, then we can start to look for 416 and possibly up to that 415 area, 416. But we'll have to see. The main thing I was looking for today, and we almost got it, we didn't get it, but I was thinking, all day, besides all the games that were being played right here, that we would come in and retest, right, the lows from Tuesday. So if in fact we can get over, the bulls can recapture those lows and get over here this 414, then we'll be expecting a bit of a bigger retracement. Maybe we come into these lows here again around that 415 area is kind of what I'd be projecting, maybe up in here just a little bit, so somewhere in that 415.75 area, something like that. But you can see also here, these were the lows in the morning on what day was this? This was last week. Was this Thursday? Yeah, it looks like Thursday. If we start to get back over, you can see the reaction here as well. So this is going to be really important, this 414.36 over that. It's certainly a more confident long, but if you didn't want to be long here over the 50%, but for me, that's true. I did do that futures trade last night. I got a little bit, but then we just continued down. I ended up getting stopped out overnight, so that was a shame. I was looking for a bit more of a retracement overnight, but I think with FOMC minutes and the debt ceiling and everything, it just the juice was not there to have anything sustainable. So, but we're looking a lot better now from the bullish perspective. Came back, retested the trend. Now we're back up over this 50%. So let's see, the next step is going to be this. If you are bearish, again, you could talk about the potential of shorting up here, right at the 32. We come up and then come back down. But really, we'd have to get back under this base and get back into this zone here in the 411s, under 411, under 411.50. And then we can start to look for more downside if they can, in fact, break this. We don't know, but we could double bottom here or something like that, and then we head back up. But we'll have to see how that develops. But yeah, if I was going to be short, I would probably be looking more for if we're back underneath 412 at the minimum. But yeah, pretty much under 412, 411.95. Okay, then I'll be looking at some more shorts. to see if we can't break this. If we break 410, I'll be going to probably just, it's not a huge move, but I'd probably be looking for 409.55. That's going to be a huge level. We've talked about it before. So if we do in fact break that 409.55, I'm going to extend this trend line out just so we have it now too, because it'll be important. If we break that 409.55, then look out for some more sellers to come in. Probably going to see some real nice sell reactions, and it'll probably drive us honestly down to this under 409.55. We've probably driven down to 407 area. So I'll definitely keep an eye out for that. Actually, let me just take a peek where the next one. All right, yeah, maybe that 407 and then 406.85 would be my next zone that we'd be likely to hit, in my opinion. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to go over. VIX is still elevated. Let's actually take a look at VIX. We haven't looked at it in a little bit, and it's certainly made quite a move. So I think it would be worth taking a peek. Okay, look at that big spike in volatility up here, right? But now we're coming back into this big area at 20. So we're going to have to see if the bulls can hold, push us back under 20. That would be the ideal scenario for the bulls. Bears want to hold above and then try to make moves higher. But as long as they're holding 20, we definitely have to be a little bit cautious. It's possible we come back into the 19 area. Let's watch that for a possible bounce. The Bears would really want to defend that. Bulls would want to break it. If we can break it, we'll look for the lower parts of these trend lines to get a move back into the 17s. Now remember, we don't want VIX too low because then we don't have any volatility to actually be able to trade. But yeah, you can see, the trend kind of line in this area that we have been at for quite a long time. Let's go back to the week. And, maybe I might adjust these a bit now that we actually did make new lows. Just as some context. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, ideally they're going to want to get under, bulls want under 20, and then ultimately under that, under this 1880, we'll call it 85. Right, there's some support up in here too. So we'll see how that plays out. Either way, NVIDIA saved the market. Futures are closed right now. We'll have to see. No, actually, what's the old 10-year doing? We haven't looked at that in a while. Interesting. Yields are coming up again. So that is interesting here. This looks like it came down, retested these highs, and now it's starting to bounce up a little bit here and showing some momentum in the market. So we'll have to see. This might make a kind of a W type pattern, right? So we'll have to see how that plays out. But all right, so yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'll probably, like I said, we're over some of the key areas, and so I'll probably be looking for a little bit of a further retracement, and then we'll go from there. But as far as things look like for now, for me, I'm gonna lean a little bit more short-term bullish for more of a retracement. And if my levels break, I'll just go and flip back to the bearish mode. So it's not a big deal. That's why we have a plan for both sides, and we just react accordingly. All right, I hope everybody had a great day. Didn't get chopped up too much in OPEX, not in OPEX, in FOMC minutes. But nice moves at the end of the day, and now we've kind of really reset some structure. So I'm excited to see what happens next in the markets, if we get a further retracement and then reject back down, or if we just continue up higher. All right, take care.